Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what we're going to discuss is we're going to talk about Russell Wilson has officially agreed to a contract to join the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be a one-year deal, about $1.2 million. He's kind of taking a veteran minimum. A couple of things I want to talk about with the signing. Number one, is this a good thing for Russell Wilson going to the Pittsburgh Steelers? There's been a lot of talk about where he'd go. Could he go to Minnesota? Could he go to Atlanta? Could he have just tried to just jump ship and maybe take a year off? Could he go to Pittsburgh? And obviously Pittsburgh is the place. We've also heard rumors about New York, but now we see that Pittsburgh is the spot. Like I said, $1.2 million. He's taking the veteran minimum. Denver's going to be picking up a lot of his contract. I think like $38 million they're going to be paying him this year. But what I wanted to discuss is I want to talk about, is this the right choice for Russell Wilson? Is this the right choice for Pittsburgh? And kind of how both sides are going to go from here. So we're going to go over the contract. We're going to go over the stats of Russell Wilson, kind of what he's been doing the past couple years, why I think he could possibly bounce back with the Pittsburgh offense, and why Pittsburgh can possibly move forward now and be better with Russell Wilson compared to what they were the past couple years. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into this. If you go to enjoy, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like onto this video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first up, like I said, we have Russell Wilson. He's agreed to the contract to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's $1.2 million. Nothing too crazy. And as we can see, the Denver Broncos are going to be paying $37.8 million of the salary while he's playing against them basically this year. For anybody that's wondering, is Russell Wilson going to be enjoying this kind of deal? Does he like being in Pittsburgh? I think he is, because I think he's going to like being in Pittsburgh. It's a good spot for him. And obviously with the tweet, he's pretty much grateful for being there. Now, a couple of things we're going to talk about. First up, let's talk about why this is a better thing for Pittsburgh versus what they were before. As you can see here from the stats, this was in 2023 regular season from what Pittsburgh had. Their career passing leader or team passing leader was Kenny Pickett with 2,000 yards. The total passing yards they had was 3,400 yards across the entire team by the time the season was over. Let's look at what Russell Wilson did. In 2023, let's see. He had 3,000 yards, about 400 yards less than the team did combined. How many touchdowns did the team have last year? Combined, 13. Kenny Pickett only had 6. He's supposed to be the franchise guy. He only had 6 passing touchdowns the whole season. Russell Wilson had 26. And for anybody saying, well, Sean Payton kind of fixed him up a little bit. Number one, if Sean Payton fixed him up, why is he trading him away? Number two, look at what Russell Wilson did the year before with Nathaniel Hackett. 16 touchdowns, still more than the entire Pittsburgh Steelers offense. How many interceptions did the team throw? Kenny Pickett, like I said, 6 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. They threw 9 interceptions total for the entire year. So with every single player throwing the ball last season, 13 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. What did Russell Wilson do? Like I said, 26 touchdowns. He had 26 total touchdowns and only 8 interceptions the entire season. It seems like Pittsburgh's offensive line played a little bit better last year, because as we can see, Kenny Pickett, he did get sacked 23 times last year. Total for the entire team was 36 sacks. Whereas with Russell Wilson, he got sacked 45 times. The year before it was 55 times. The bright side with Russell Wilson and what he can possibly do with Pittsburgh is they do have a strong play action game now with Arthur Smith being the new offensive coordinator. I think with what Najee Harris brings to the run game, he's a great runner. He's a downhill type runner. Jaylen Warren has been a just beast last year. He has the speed. Every single time they put him on the field, he just pops one for like 20, 30 yards and then take him off the field, and then Najee Harris comes back there and he's trying to work hard for these like 2-3 yard runs, and he's struggling. And then, like I said, you bring back in Warren and he can pop another 10, 20 yard run. And it's like, why don't you just keep Warren out there all the time? They got some good pass threats. Let's look at what Russell Wilson kind of was back when he was with Seattle. He had, like I said, Tyler Lockett. Back when they had Paul Richardson, they had a lot of good players. DK Metcalf was big for Russell Wilson there for a few years. What does Pittsburgh have? Oh, that's right. They got George Pickens. Can be a good number one. I think he can be a really good number one in the league. Deontay Johnson is still a good, reliable pass catcher for the team. Jaylen Warren, good out of the backfield for catching passes. Freiermuth is a great tight end for them. Allen Robinson was just released, so they're going to have to get by him. I think with what they have right now, they're going to need to add in some receivers this offseason. Going through free agency and going through the draft, especially the draft, they're going to have to draft somebody. But when you look at the team in total, what does Pittsburgh have right now that's kind of similar to what Russell Wilson succeeded with in Seattle? Oh, that's right. Good coaching, great defense, and then having a solid run game or just something to kind of get you comfortable in the offense. Pittsburgh has a solid run game. I'm going to say that, and I'm a Browns fan. This hurts me to say. They have a solid run game. They have a really good defense. TJ Watt, that's basically kind of all they got. But last time I checked, TJ Watt is a damn good player, and he's pretty much your defense, and he can wreak havoc on opposing offenses. Your back end is a little bit weak. Patrick Peterson, you just released him. I'm not surprised that you did. He's aging. You got to fix up your back end a little bit. Your linebackers are good. I think your D-line is good. You got to fix the back end up a little bit. But like we saw in Seattle back like 10 years ago, they had the Legion of Boom. If Pittsburgh can kind of change up their defense and make it to where they can control the game, and we've seen it the past couple years, they've been winning with defense. The offense has not been the thing that wins them the game. Defense just keeps them in the game, gives them opportunities, turns the ball over, gets some scores off, pick sixes, fumble recovers, keeps the offense in the game, and the offense late in the game can go down there and make a score. I think if they can just talk to Russell and just make him understand, we don't need you to go be Superman. If there's times where our defense is acting like shit out there and we're going to ask you to be Superman, go for it. But that's kind of the good thing with Russell Wilson. He has the capabilities to be a Superman, and we can also just try and dial him down and just make him understand, hey, 25 touchdowns, 6 to 7, maybe 8 interceptions max, that is perfect for our offense. Because if the defense can play like this, and then the offense can just go out there and just give good production, and we're not saying we need like every receiver out on the team to go for 1,000 yards, the running backs to all to just be each, like Warren and Harris both go 1,000 yards. If the Pittsburgh Steelers do that, obviously I'm a Browns fan, like I said, I'm going to cry if that happens because, like, Jesus Christ, the Steelers are going to wreck everybody. But I really think what Russell Wilson still has left in the tank, and I know I've said it already, Russell Wilson, he was buns the past couple years. And there's a difference between being buns and is buns. Russell Wilson the last few years, he's played like buns on the field. I'm not saying his future is still going to be buns. I'm just saying he can get, that's what he was the past couple years. And I think people take that out of context because when I say he played like shit the past couple years, he played like shit. But when you look at what he can still do, what he did in Seattle, and then kind of what he did at least last year, the first year in Denver was horseshit. That was awful. That was like Jesus Christ. But then again, we relate that to Nathaniel Hackett. Last year, he played better. Sean Payton kind of got him better, but then they benched him later on in the year. I think the reason why Denver let him go, and I've already said it in a former video, I think Russell or Sean Payton, he wants his guy, and Russell Wilson is just not his guy. Maybe Sean Payton's going to go to the draft. He's going to be able to draft a guy for him that he can teach and tutor and make into his guy, I guess this generation's Drew Brees maybe. But I'm telling you right now, anything better than this right here, from what we see out of these quarterbacks, Russell Wilson can do it. But I'm going to wrap it up by saying this. Denver Broncos, they decide to move on. That's fine. Sean Payton, that's his choice. He's going to go after his guy. When it comes to the Russell Wilson and the Pittsburgh Steelers, from what we've seen out of the Pittsburgh Steelers for the past like 10, 15, 20 years, Tomlin does not lose. Like seriously, you name me a season when Mike Tomlin had a losing season, and that means 7-9, 8-9, something along those lines. He has always had a 500 record or above. This team is made off of just great coaching, special teams, defense, and in the very end of the game, whether you're trailing by one score or one touchdown, one field goal, you can make the late game drive, and the offense can go down there and just somehow just start chucking the ball, praying for PI, praying for holdings, and somehow they move the ball down the field and get the win. And I think with what Russell Wilson still has in the tank, he can add an extra layer of talent to help out this offense. Now, am I saying that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go out there and win the division? Hell no. The AFC North is loaded with Joe Burrow and the Bengals, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. If Deshaun Watson, I know we keep on saying it, but with Deshaun Watson coming back hopefully from injury, if he can get back to what he was doing there against the Ravens before he got injured, and he can get back to that, we've seen what the Browns defense is. Every single team in this division is loaded. It's going to be a fun division next year. That's all I'm going to say. I still think the Bengals or the Ravens are probably going to be the best bet to win the division. Browns have a shot. Steelers right now, who knows? They could possibly win it. But I'm telling you right now, it's anybody's game to win that division. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy it, as always, make sure you drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you think Russell Wilson to go into Pittsburgh Steelers is a good idea, bad idea? Do you like the move? Do you think the Steelers are going to be AFC North championship contenders next season? What do you think about the whole move? If you agree or disagree with anything I said, like I said, leave your complete opinion down in the comment section down below. Be more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so, and don't forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dalton Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.